So let's check the fundamental. So last week we saw the core CPI news, which came out in a mixed result. So some came out as expected, and then the core CPI came out better than expected. So on Wednesday, we saw the US dollar core PPI, that is producer price index, and the entire state manufacturing index, and the retail sales coming out worse than expected. So if we go to the DSY, this is Wednesday when they released the CPI, which has a mixed results. Then on Thursday of March, then on Friday we saw the decline in the US dollar following the PPI news and the Empire State Manufacturing Index news, which comes out on Wednesday. So on Thursday we have the AUD unemployment change and unemployment rate and employment change, which comes out better than expected. So we saw the big job data in Australia, and the unemployment rate decline. But still, because we are in a risk-off environment, AUD PS decline. We have AUD JPY decline, AUD USD decline, AUD Swiss franc decline. You know, JPY, Swiss franc, US dollar, these are the safe haven currency, and safe haven currency jumps during the risk off moment. So that's why we saw the decline in those pairs. But we have AUD card to the upside, which go to the upside, and some AUD pair which go to, but AUD with this risk off currency, the safe haven currency, they decline. And in a risk off environment, you see the commodity currency decline. Commodity currency like NZD, AUD, Canadian dollar, they will decline, and the risk off currency, which are the safe haven currency, will do what we charm. So that is why we saw the decline on Australian dollar and some safe haven currency, despite the unemployment rate that comes out better than expected, and the employment change that comes out better than expected. So last week we saw the monetary policy of the euro, which they hike with 50 basis points, which comes out as expected. That is when we saw the push in the euro USD moved to the upside, and some euro pair. But the next day we saw the decline on euro AUD, and so because the reason why we saw the decline in euro AUD is because of this unemployment rate that came out better than expected. AUD is more stronger. So this week, let's check out this week. What we have this week is on Monday we don't have much on fundamental, but on Tuesday we have the Canadian dollar CPI, which is a high impact news, so we should look into that. But the most important one we have next week is the FOMC. So they are planning on increasing the interest rate by 25 basis points. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. But as a result of the Silvergate Bank, which fold up 2 weeks, or let's say 2 weeks ago, yeah, I can't remember. So they should have cut the interest rate so that it can allow more banks to function, like they can allow more people to have access to loan. But if they want to go for the 25 basis point interest rate, that is, they want to control inflation, because of the reason why they will hike the interest rate plus 25 is because of the CPI results they have last time. If they want to consider those banks folding up, they should have cut the interest rate, let's say by 25 basis points or 50 basis points. But they are going on interest rate hike again. So let's see how it goes. Maybe they will consider, or they will go for their mind in curbing inflation, so that the CPI can be stable. So let's see how it goes right there. So you have to be up and doing with this. This is the most important news next week. So this week, this is more important news this week, and it will let us to know maybe US dollar will be more stronger, or gold strength, and then BTC strength, and then maybe US dollar. But US dollar is in a range form, so don't let us put US dollar in it. So Swiss franc, on Thursday we have the monetary policy of the Swiss franc. So they are planning on increasing the interest rate by 50 basis points. So on Friday we have the euro flash manufacturing PMI, and then we have the flash manufacturing PMI of the US dollar. This one is very important. So let's go to this to the technical and see how we relate this to how we are going to trade this week. So this week, last week we saw last 2 weeks we saw DSY decline from this area right here. So this area of resistance, it declined, it break this level. If you look at this level, this is also a level of support, which it break a level of support right here, which it break to the downside, and then still break it to the downside again. So what I'm looking at here is we might still see more decline on it before we can see a move to the upside in the DSY. So let's see how it goes right there. So if you want to look at it, we might still see a push to this side, then we can see a decline to this particular area before Wednesday. So, and as you can see, Wednesday is the FOMC statement day. So that is when they will release their interest rate. Maybe they will cut or increase, but their forecast is 50 basis points. So it means they are going for 25 basis point rate hike. So before Wednesday, we might see a decline of DSY to 102.797. Then maybe if they really increase the interest rate, then we might see a move to the upside to break this particular level. Maybe you can see that playing out at that particular area. So that's what I'm looking at on the. So the first pair we want to check is the Euro US dollar. So if you check Euro US dollar very well, let's go to the weekly time frame to see the bigger picture on the weekly time frame. As you can see on the weekly time frame, we are still above this level right there, this support level right there. We are still above it. So what I'm looking at to trade here is next week you might see something like maybe retracement to this side, then a movement to 1.10071. So it depends on what happened on Wednesday on the interest rate decision. So that is when, but on a short term basis, let's move to the 4-hour time frame and see what we are going to enter before they drop the interest rate on Wednesday. So if you check this level, you'll see that there is a reversal point at this area, as you can see. And then if you see this candle, it closes bearish. This 4-hour candle closes bearish on Friday. That is the 4-hour candle. And this long candle, if you are to do the Fibonacci ratio to know where the opposite effect might come in, this is it right here. So you can use it to know where the opposite effect might come in to selling pressure. So as you can see, this is 61.8 level, even going to 78.6, but it's still at 61.8 level. So we might see a rejection at this area to the downside. So what I'm saying in essence is that if earlier on Monday you see a 4-hour bearish candle closes beside this 4-hour candle, is an opportunity to take the sell order. So we can take the sell order from here. If you see another bearish 4-hour candle closes, then this is where we will target on Monday. But another thing we have to look at here is that if there is a breakout of this level to this side, then you might see a move to this area. So a move to this area to if you can see, as you can see, a move this area to is a resistance level on its own. So we might see a move to this area before the decline, maybe after the news on Wednesday or before Wednesday. We might see a move to this area, and then so what I'm looking at here is either I sell from here on Monday or I might enter a sell position from here. But if we see a contrary opinion or a contrary market do something that is different from what we are saying, they actually might see a break of this resistance level, then we are going to go long to 1.10071. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So the support level here, and then we have the resistance level, first one, and the second one. So if we see maybe if you can just see a move to this side, then maybe after the FOMC we might see a move to this particular resistance level, or if we break this level, that means that we are going for the next support level, which is this area. Then we can now wait for a retracement then we do what, we enter the position. So that is what I'm looking at. So it depends on what happened on the FOMC on Wednesday, but before then we might have a dollar before then, as I did the analysis in the DSY, as we view it in the DSY. So the next one I want to check is the GBP US dollar. So the next pair we want to check is GBP US dollar. Let's look at the weekly time frame too. Let's look at the higher time frame. So at the higher time frame, it looks like it forms head and shoulder in the higher time frame. As you can see, the head, then the left shoulder, then we have the right shoulder right there. So but let's look at this particular support level and then the resistance level right there. So going to the 4-hour time frame. So there is something I want you to notice at this particular area. So if we put the trend line right there, you can see that we have a break of that trend line and a retest already. As you can see, we have a break of this trend line and a retest. And on Friday, on Friday last week, we took in the Telegram channel. If you want to join the Telegram channel, you can. There's a link in the description box. Click it and join us. So we took a buy from this area and then we pop almost like 100 pips from this area to this resistance level. So you can see we have a resistance level at this area, but not that strong. It might break anytime soon. So what I'm looking at right here is that we might just see two things happen here. Number one, we might see a double top at this area, which means that we might see this one decline back to this particular support level. That's number one. If you see a rejection candle at this area, then you can enter sell and then place your stop loss above. But another thing we can see here is you can just see a retracement, then a break of this particular level, then you can wait for a retest, then buy to the second take, buy to that particular take profit right there. So this is two scenarios I'm looking at this particular area. So it depends on what I see. If I see a rejection candle at this area telling me to sell, which indicates a selling pressure, then I will enter sell, take my profit at this area. Then if I see a breakout, then I will. But anything you want to sell, make sure maybe after 30 pips or 25 pips you can put your break even, because you might just have a retracement here, then a break to the upside level. So the next one we want to check is the AUD USD. AUD USD, as I talk about the commodity currency versus the safe haven currency. So US dollar is one of the safe haven currency, but for now US dollar is ranging. So and in a risk-off environment, I told you that the commodity currencies such as AUD, CHF, SND, they ought to be weak, you understand, and then we are still not seeing the weakness. So as you can see, we can see what we call a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is lower high, lower low. Then we have a lower low here and a lower high at this particular area. So there is a high probability that we are going to form a new low at this particular area. A retracement. The whole directional bias is to the downside. So what we're looking at right here is to sell AUD US dollar. So Australian dollar, US dollar, I'm favoring to the downside. So let's use the bigger picture. Let's use the bigger picture right now. So where I'm looking at to take my sell is at this particular area, and don't forget we might see a move to this area before it declines to that particular supply level right there. So please be aware that we might actually have a move to this area before we actually decline to the downside. So if you want to put your stop above this particular level. So your stop should be somewhere around this level. So and the reward is much, so it might be 1:4, 1:3 risk to reward ratio. So if you see the sign of rejection at this area, then you enter sell. Your first take profit 0.6626 and the second one is 0.64877. So that is my bias on AUD USD. So the next one I want to check is the AUD as in the US dollar. So as in the US dollar, if you check, is a commodity currency. SND is a commodity currency too. So right now we are at the resistance level. So if you want to see the big picture, let's check the weekly time frame. So on weekly time frame too, SND USD looks like it's formed head and shoulder on weekly time frame, as you can see, and head and shoulder is always reversal. It's a reversal pattern. So it closes, the last candle that closes on this weekly candle on SND USD has a large momentum to the upside. So we might have a retracement, let's say a weekly retracement to this level before we continue to the upside. This is the first take profit level, but I'm looking at the retracement first. I'm looking out for it to retrace first, and then we can see a break to the upside later. So actually we might see a retracement before the FOMC, then after the retracement we might see a move to the after the FOMC statement out of the US dollar. We might see a move to the upside. So this is a daily candlestick. This is a daily time frame. So we might have a retracement to this area, and then actually might have a break to this particular break of this particular resistance level, because actually we have the inner head and shoulder too. As you can see, as it's from the bigger in the bigger picture, in the smaller picture too, we have the head and shoulder formation too. So as this form head and shoulder, we might see a retracement to this particular area. So before the retracement might actually take 2 or 3 days. Then maybe on Thursday, we'll see the continuation to the upside. So let's delete this so that you can see the clear picture on it of it. Actually, this is, as you can see, this is a resistance level 2. So we might see a retracement to the, then if not a trend line also where the retracement might end. So it might end at this particular level, then we can see a move to the upside at that level. So that is what I'm looking at on SND US dollar. So the next one I want to check is US dollar Canadian dollar. So USD card, I'm favoring to the upside for now. That is on a short term basis. What I'm using is a 1 hour for the entry. So why I'm using the 1 hour is because it's still respecting the trend line at this particular area. We have respect of the trend line here. This is the third touch of the trend line, and when you zoom in further, you see a reversal right there. So this is one of my best position going to next week. Might just see a small retracement here, then this is where I'll be looking to take or to book my profit. So anything lower than this trend line, anything lower or anything below this trend line, I will not be taking a buy position. I might be looking for sell if I see opportunity, but for now the opportunity I'm seeing here is to the upside. So anything above this trend line, I'm favoring to the upside to 1.38444. So the next pair we want to look at is US dollar Japanese yen. So as we talk about the commodity, we talk about the safe haven currency, and as the one that is leading the market this week from last week. So last week we sell USD JPY from here and we took our profit from here. This week you are still looking for the continuation to the downside, but our entry is what we should be looking at now. So we can still see USD JPY making a retracement to this level, then we can enter and then sell to 128.590. So we can see retracement to this level of 133.770. That's where we can see the opposite pressure coming into the market. But as far as I'm concerned too, we might just see it respecting this level right here, and then we can see what we call a move. So I will not be interested in selling this if I see a move breaking this level to the upside, so I will ignore it. So but if it did not break this level to the side, if we have a rejection at this side, then any treatments I see will be an opportunity for me to go for a sell setup on US dollar, Japanese yen. So another thing I want us to look at is if you actually use line charts, not candlestick chart, we might actually see where we will likely, where the opposite pressure might actually comes in. So let's eliminate these ones. So let's use line charts. So using line charts, you can see that everything is clear now. So actually this looks like a chart pattern. So we might see the opposite pressure coming in at this particular area after a treatment to this level, respecting that particular trend line right there, and then you can see a move to that particular area. So that's what I'm looking at on US dollar JPY. So the next one is Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. So looking at the weekly time frame, there's something I wanted to see at this particular area. So we are having the respect of this trend line there until we have a breakout there, and it's breaking back. We want to go and retest this supply level right here, as you can see, and then we have a big rejection from this level. So for me, I believe we still have the continuation to the downside, because this is Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, the commodity currency versus the safe haven currency. So but the beginning of the week, we might see a retracement to the upside. So any retracement we'll see which is still on below this 99 or 100 level. So any retracement you see which is still below this 100 level is an opportunity for you to look for a bearish setup to 92555. But anything above this level, then it means that the buyers has dominated the market, and what we'll be looking for is a buy to the next resistance level. So let's check out AUD Swiss franc. So AUD Swiss franc, if you check something around there, you see that we have a break of this support level right there, and then this big bearish candlestick. So it came to retest already. So this week we should see the continuation to the downside. So let's check the 4-hour candle to know where we enter. As you can see, we have supply level being held at this area, and then the 4-hour candle close on Friday closes bearish inside this level. Also inside we have a close below this level. So what we are looking for right now is if we can see a rejection, then probably a break of this pattern, then we are looking for a break to the downside to 0.60368. That's the first take profit. Then if we see the continuation of the safe haven currency, that is the Swiss franc, in a risk off environment like this, then we should see the move to second take profit, which is 0.58706. So don't forget, most of this risk off currency will be stronger against the commodity currency, which is EUD. So we should see continuation to the downside. So where I'm likely not taking this trade is when I see a break to this particular area. If I have a break to this side, I might not be taking the trade. Then I might be waiting for the trade at this particular resistance level. Then if I didn't see a rejection here too, then it means that I will abandon this trade down. If I see a break of this level, then I'll be looking for a buy setup. So the next one I want to take is the AUD card. This one is commodity currency versus the commodity currency. As you can see here, let's check the bigger picture. The bigger picture in the daily time frame shows that we have, so the bigger picture in the daily time frame shows we have a level of support right here, a very strong one at that, the support level at this particular area. So and then we have a big buying pressure coming to the market at that particular area. So this is as a result of the unemployment rate of the AUD coming out better than expected last week. So it makes AUD strong as well with card. So it makes AUD stronger against Canadian dollar. And the reason why we can't see AUD Swiss franc, AUD JPY to the upside is because of the risk of environment we are. So it's always happen like that. So because we are in a risk-off environment, the commodity currency will be weaker against the stable currency. But when it comes to commodity currency versus commodity currency, then we'll have a fundamental will play its part there. So right now, the fundamental play its part. We saw a break of this particular trend line. So the next thing we are going to do is let's look at the 4-hour time frame. So checking at the 4-hour time frame, you can see the opposite pressure coming in might actually come in at this area. This is a resistance level, so opposite pressure might actually come in at this area. So we might see a sell to this level, which in turn we might see a rejection here and a break of this particular resistance level to 0.92997. So what you have to look at is if you see a rejection here, then there is opportunity for you to enter, sell, and take a profit at 0.91307 to know maybe we will have a break of this level or there will be a rejection at this level. Probably you are looking for a rejection at this level. And the second trading plan is if there is no selling pressure, if we have a break of this particular resistance level, they just wait for a retest in a lower time frame and then sell buy to 0.92997. That is at the first take profit. While the second take profit is at this particular resistance level 0.93698. So the next one I want to look at is EUR AUD. EUR AUD I'm favoring to the upside after we have a rejection at this demand level right there. So we can just see maybe a retracement and then move to this is 1.61663. So that's what I'm looking at right there. So I'm looking for a break of this particular level to the upside. So I will not be taking this trade if there is a break to this downside. Then I will do what I will ignore. Then I might likely look for a sell setup if I see a break of this level, and I might not even take it because it's even dangerous to take what we call a breakout against this trend. So if you actually occur like this, it's a breakout against the trend because the whole trend is still up. So I'm favoring to the upside on EUR AUD. So the last one I want to check is GBP AUD. So GBP AUD too, I'm favoring to the upside. So I actually see a retracement here, which might actually make this form what we call head and shoulder, then a break to the upside. So these are my trading plan for this week. These are my pair I'm looking to take for this week. So you just need to look for the entry, a right entry and exit. So if you are new to this channel, please click like, subscribe and share. So big thank you to everybody that has been supporting this channel, and don't forget to trade safely. Use your protective stop at every point in time, and have a lovely and a good trading week.